so many things to share, Alexis, and the city got a big rework. On Gen 4, there's a cruise boat. It's crazy. There's just so much going on with gameplay, an all-new defensive mechanic system that feels way better to me. It's a lot more fun, a lot more competitive, and just across the board, so many areas were touched. So I don't know where we want to start, but let's talk about some gameplay maybe.
Alright, 2K22 is right around the corner. I watched a lot of YouTube videos talking about the news, talking about the Mike Wang interview on the 2K TV, and nobody really expressed their thoughts the way that I saw it, so I'm going to have a go at it. Go ahead and like, subscribe, tell me in the comments down below what you want to see in future videos, and let's get going.
Because this is one of our biggest pillars for gameplay this year, it's going to be defense. And I think that's going to be just perimeter defense, body ups on the floor, movement, and how the players feel just in on-ball defensive stances and on-ball defensive situations. But at the rim especially.
At the rim especially, what does that mean? Does that mean slashers are out unless they give slashers some kind of, counter, like a new dribble move that are going to help them get into the paint? That would be the counter to really good interior defense. But what does that mean for centers and slashers? If a slasher is trying to go up on a center, that's going to be a no-go, is what I'm hearing when he says especially interior defense. That's at the rim, attacking the rim. If you're trying to do a post hook or something like that, it's going to be pretty difficult. And perimeter defense, I really don't know. We're going to have to see how that goes.
And contesting shots. All that stuff was reworked. We have an all-new block system. It just feels much more rewarding on the defensive end of the floor, just making plays and getting stops. So I think that's going to be the most exciting thing for our community because it's just a much more balanced game.
When he says a more balanced game, I truly believe he's only talking about next gen, because on current gen, all you see is big boys trying to get dunks and little guys speed boosting left or right, trying to speed glitch, trying to get that quick stop, and it always works. Why? Because they have 99 speed. It's like they think they have more skill than me because they can run faster. That don't make no sense. And so he's gonna contradict himself when he says a more balanced game, but it's gonna be more like current gen, I believe. And I'll get to that. I'll point it out when it comes to the video. Check it out.
Because it's just a much more balanced game and a much more fun game to play. And the second thing I'm going to say is, because this is one of my personal favorites, is going to be dribbling. I think that just all the stuff we've added there with the new combos and the new signature moves, this is going to be a lot of fun. So if you're a dribble guy, a dribble head, you're going to have a lot to work with there.
All right, so they've already released the news that they're going to be releasing dribble moves throughout the season or the year, and as they do that, more difficult dribble moves are going to mix up the competition so that everybody's not doing the Curry slide. Everybody's not doing one single move. They're going to be multiple overpowered moves basically, and we'll see what those moves are. But that's basically what I hear when he's saying that right there, and that's good news. I think that's a really good thing to do. We'll see how it goes. As long as they drop some good, dribble moves at the beginning, so that we could still get down. We could get them clips in at the very beginning. I'll be fine. We'll all be fine if they do something like that. Some slasher moves as well. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and that's, I think just what I alluded to is just the game feels way more balanced, and it makes more sense just in terms of how we're rewarding players if they are doing the right thing on the court. I know it sounds really general and really basic, but a lot of times in the past, sometimes you'd make the right play or do the right thing, but you weren't always rewarded for it. And in 2K22, I feel like that's it's much more just a one-to-one. If you make the right play, you get rewarded. You get the right stops, or you score.
We took out steady shooter is what he meant to say right there. That's literally all I heard, is we took out steady shooter. So if you actually get in his face, you in his face, and that contested will actually matter. That's what I heard. I don't know about y'all.
So just shooting open shots, taking high IQ shots, much more rewarded. It just feels way better to make the right play, get open, knock down those open jumpers. They're so much fun to play with. And Luka too, right? We brought in Luka from OCAP, and he gave us his patented step back jumper and his moves, and so the nicest guy and super funny, just a pleasure to work with. So we're so excited that he's our cover guy this year.
Yup, he confirmed it. That's what he said. Steady shooter's gone. No cap though. I wanna see how Luka's step back really works. I know my boy, my main dribbler, gonna be using that move. At least he better, at least once. We'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? we're definitely going to be testing out all the dribble moves, everything available at the beginning. We're going to be making ourselves look like fools, to be honest, trying to see what we could do. But it's okay. It's the beginning of the game. Ain't nobody trying to sweat right away. We'll sweat at like in a month inside of the first year, okay?
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit more about seasons?
Yeah, so seasons is going to be, we've had it in the past with my team. And the goal that Eric Benish wanted this year was to really extend the seasons across the entire game. So I'll speak to gameplay because that's my area. What we're doing with seasons is we're going to try and release content throughout the entire year. On day one, we've usually just thrown all the animations at you, all the signature moves and shots and everything. But we're going to try and roll that out across the year just to kind of change the meta up a little bit, give people something to look forward to. And it's really going to, I think, just prolong the life of the game and make people just excited to try new things as the year goes on.
I know in the 2K community in general, we're all curious at what he really means when he says this. Does it mean he's taking out animations that would previously be standard, part of the vanilla package? Or is he going to be adding animations on top of everything we already have? That's the question, and I know the 2K community wants to know this.
Mike, I know that a lot of players love making the dominant archetypes of NBA 2K and NBA 2K21. It seemed like it was the power forward. So Mike, what do you think the dominant archetype will be for NBA 2K22?
That's a good question, because that's something that we're always trying to balance and tune, because we don't really want there to be one dominant archetype, right?
They only want two archetypes: the glass cleaning finisher and some kind of playmaking shot creator. Like he said, he's trying to be balanced, but here's where the cap comes in, because he's going to contradict himself when he says that little guys, everybody's going to gravitate towards the little guys. That's 2K21 current gen. Everybody's trying to speed boost. That's the contradiction right there. Check it out. Here he goes capping.
So the power forward thing is fixed, and it's much more spread out in terms of the badges you get per position and heights and archetypes. But one thing we've really focused on was trying to make all the different heights and positions have unique strengths and abilities. So one thing that I think might actually be interesting is we might have a lot of smaller players this year. If you are 6 foot or under, you get a massive speed boost.
Look at that smile. Yo, that's an evil smile, yo. He's talking about them little play shots hitting 90. He said you get a massive speed. Look at his smile. He's over here like an evil genius, yo.
You have access to higher ball handling ratings as well as like 3-point ratings. So a lot of people might gravitate toward that direction this year. Having said that, in our online test here internally, we've got a guy who plays as like a 7-foot center every single time, and he is so dominant in our games. So I think it's a good mix, because I think you're going to have people who want to be kind of that in the middle road, small forward, power forward, and still kind of do it all. But you might see some players gravitate toward like point guards, small point guards even, and then like big centers. And hopefully we have the whole gambit covered, and it's a much more balanced experience overall.
He's saying people are going to gravitate towards the point guard position, even small point guard positions, because they get a massive speed boost. That ain't nothing new. We've seen that. They're trying to quick stop on us, 99 speed, whatever. We're going to see how the badges come into play with that. They're going to affect the height, he says, or the position. We've seen small forward, power forward, usually glass cleaning finishers. They want to block shots and they want to dunk, get contact dunks on people. That ain't nothing new. He ain't really saying anything new, except the one thing that I got to point out is how he says the badges may come into play. We're going to see how that works, because in next gen, the badges were limited based on what your rating was. So if you didn't have the free throw rating, you couldn't get the free throw badge on Hall of Fame. Basically, those are the kind of stats that I'm talking about. So if you don't have driving dunk, you're not going to be able to get contact dunk animations. That's kind of obvious, but there's going to be the contact finisher. You might not be able to get contact finisher if you don't have driving dunk or standing dunk, either one, because driving layup, let's face it, contact on a driving layup, you could just get like slithery. That's going to unlock acrobatic or something like that along those lines. But when you want that contact finisher, you're going to have a high rating of something that gives you really good contact finishes, basically, is what I'm saying.
What are the gameplay differences between Gen 4 and Gen 5?
That's an interesting question, because we wanted to do our best to try to keep parity between Gen 5 and Gen 4 as much as possible. So all the stuff that I mentioned before, like the dribble moves and combos, all that's going for both gens. But Gen 5 has some great features that are exclusive to that generation, because all the stuff we did with foot planting, a lot of tech with movement, that's all going to be exclusive to Gen 5. And we also have some pretty interesting features, which we're going to probably go into in a little bit later, with alley-oops and with dunks, that provides a bit of a skill mechanic to those specific moves. So stay tuned for more on that. But they're a lot of fun to use, and yeah, I think our gamers are going to love just trying out these new features that are specific to Gen 5.
Well,
All right, when he's talking next gen, there's obviously going to be differences between next gen and current gen, or as he likes to say, Gen 4 and Gen 5. They're going to be exclusive to Gen 5. A lot of things are going to be exclusive, even though their player base is not going to be as active as current gen. We all know that. We all still on current gen. Go ahead and comment down below if you're on current gen or next gen. Either way, we're gaming, but I'm worried about the builds. Look at my build. I'll put it up on screen right here. I want something like this: Hall of Fame shooting, Hall of Fame finishing, 12 playmaking badges. The defense stats are looking decent. Obviously, we only get one defense badge, but that's something I want to see in 2K22. If you thought this video was at all entertaining, go ahead and like, subscribe. Please subscribe. Tell me in the comments down below if you are on current gen or next gen, what kind of build you'll be making, or what kind of build you're thinking about making, because I know a lot of us aren't sure until we see the build archetype system. We're going to see if they changed anything or if there's anything new. I think it's going to be the same one that 2K21 next gen has, but as far as 2K22 current gen, I'm not, or Gen 4, I'm not sure how that's gonna look. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna look. If anything, I'm gonna make the same build. We'll see though. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you're staying tuned this long, you're a trooper, man. You're a soldier. I appreciate you. And let's keep it 100 in 2K22. No boo boo plays.